Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Darkwolf Algo, and thanks for joining me on another end of day live stream morning live stream recap. We're going to check out how the stocks that we picked out this morning did, and just talk about the market overall. So today was the end of futures. Well, not futures. It was SPX rollover day, which means that futures contracts roll from 1 month to the next. Typically what happens is there's lots of selling off going into that. People are selling out their contracts, getting ready for the next rotation of those contracts. So it's not unheard of to dip today. That compiled with some news coming out from the Fed about tapering starting sooner than they thought, really kind of hit us hard right after lunch. So overall, the stocks we picked out this morning, they recovered pretty nicely. We're going to take a few minutes to go through them. And just wanted to let you know, if you're new to this channel, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And I am a dark pool block trade smart money algorithm software analyst. I typically track large institutional purchases so that we can see how they're happening in real time. I use a software called FlowTrade for that. But if you're new, I'm going to start doing a tutorial series on how to trade the stock market using free indicators from Thinkorswim. I know that there's a lot of very particular, very specific indicators that are for purchase, but I really wanted to do a very beginner lesson on how to draw support lines, how to use Fibonacci, how to use stack moving averages, the difference between exponential moving averages and simple moving averages, stochastics, RSI, MACD. With those indicators, you can start yourself a great trading career and be super successful. But before we get into this, all I ask in return for this video is you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're going to take a quick second, roll that intro, and we'll jump right into it. See you soon. All right, welcome back. So what you're looking at in front of you is the Smart Money Dark Pool and Block Trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. If you are interested in getting a free trial of this, or if you have not got one yet, you can visit us at darkpoolcharts.com. There's sign-up links all over the place. Get yourself a free 7-day trial. Be able to see what the big boys are doing before the market reacts. Okay. So this morning we went over a couple of stocks. First, we went over PENN, FUTU, BNTX, WYNN, and Disney and PayPal. Those are the ones that we went over, and I want to just quickly run through them. PENN is in the upper left-hand corner. This morning going into it, the algorithm was slightly down. We got a little bit of a bounce. I'm just going to mark this up a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Quickly, as far as my chart markup goes, I'll use yellow for my markups. Purple line is the regular algorithm line. White that you see here, those white bars are price action. If you see me draw a red line, it's a regular block trade. Draw a purple line or blue line, it's a dark pool block trade. And if I drop a white line on there, then, you know, it's party time. No, that's a personal joke. We got somebody on the stream that always cuts up about that. No, what happens is that there's a dark pool and a regular block trade so close to each other that I can't fit two lines on there. So I'll just use a white line. And, you know, that's a very important level to take note of. Okay. Quickly looking at PENN going into this morning, and I'm just going to go ahead and draw a line. So basically going into this morning, this is the information we had to go off of here, right? Basically, Algo was pointed down, price action was being pulled with it. We noted that we'd like the algorithm to turn back up, and it appears that it did. We had a nice little pop and run this morning. So what we were looking for was looking for that Algo to maintain that level. We wanted the Algo to curl back up, and what it did at that point is that it affected price action, pulled price action back up to it. We've got a nice little bit of a kind of a longer term strong uptrend. We've got an offshoot there. Looks like we've basically created a nice little bull flag forming on the 5-minute chart. I'm really interested to see what happens when the Algo, see, it ran into its overhead resistance. It did pull back and it has curled up. So going into tomorrow or even the next couple of weeks, what I'd like to see is that algorithm break out of its overhead resistance and continue to move up. About the same, when that happens, you can anticipate price action to follow. Okay. PENN is currently in a nice rising channel, so it could chop back and forth. If we have time at the end of this video, I'll go and look at some charts on these just to show what's going on. Trying to keep these down to about 10 minutes. It's really hard to do, showing Algo and price action, but I can work on it. Okay, the next one was FUTU. As far as FUTU is concerned, if you look at about right, let's see, I'll just draw a line where we started. We started the day off here. Started the day off there with the algo trading with price action. FUTU in the morning had a little bit, looks like a little bit of a pop and then drop, and then it continued on with its uptrend. We have a slight slight bullish separation that has started. All right, we've got this, sorry, wrong tool. Got this nice strong uptrend that FUTU is building, right? It's making higher lows, trying to make higher highs. We've got, looks like a little bit of a bull flag forming there, but there is slight divergence where the algo is buying and price action is falling off. What we'd like to see happen over the next couple of days with FUTU is we need this area to continue the separation or for the price action to begin following FUTU up. I like FUTU long. It's not just a Chinese ADR stock. Like Webull, for example, is backed on, that's built on the FUTU platform. I don't know if anybody knew that or not, but yeah, FUTU is the broker platform that FUTU is built on, right? Or that Webull is built on. Looking to take out that previous high, right? Start filling that gap, moving up to about the 115 as early as next week. Okay, the next one we're looking at BNTX. So this moves similar to Moderna, mRNA, but it hasn't made its run yet. So Moderna is just off to the races. I don't want to get involved with that. I think it's too risky for me to start chasing at this point. But if we're looking at our starting point for today, going into today, price action was looking to do a little curly Q. Excuse me, the algo was looking to do a little curly Q, was hoping that it would break through its little downward channel that it had created for itself. It's very slight. You can see here, we wanted it to break out of its little, I guess that's more of a flag pattern. It was able to curl back around and continue up. This is bullish. It's pulling price action up with it. Price action is currently in a nice strong uptrend. We've got a little bit of an offshoot uptrend here. It looks like we are running into issues at previous highs, right? Running into that previous high all the way back from here, right? A little cup and handle formed. Really looking for that breakout tomorrow. As long as the algo can continue to move upwards and continue to make higher highs and higher lows. I like this little curly Q at the end of the day. Definitely looking at taking BNTX upwards. Okay, moving on to the next one, WYNN. All right, so WYNN was brought up on the stream. It's super choppy, and looking at where we started off this morning with WYNN, it was essentially right in that area where it was trading with price action. What had happened was it looked like, if I can remember correctly, it looked like the algo was pointed, starting to curl just a little bit down. So I was like, be careful. We've got, now the algo is definitely diverged to the bearish side from WYNN. As far as divergence, it can take anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks, 2 months. There's no real set time on when this divergence will play out, but the divergence must play out. So if you can see, we had we had some divergence that occurred here, right? Where price action was going one way, the algo started going another direction. We could draw a straight line across, and the divergence will be played out when price action comes back down to where the initial divergence occurred. As far as price action does go, looking at WYNN, looks like we've got a little bit of a broken uptrend, as you can see there. Nowhere block trades to help us out. Currently, we're testing at previous lows. To me, that's not super bearish. We've got overhead resistance. We're at support. Algo's pointed down. The algo may have broken its little trend, or maybe right at, really be interested to see what happens when the algorithm hits this upward trend line support. So if it can bounce from there, it may possibly pull price action back up and through, but I'm feeling a little bit more heavy on this stock. So, excuse me. Definitely one to keep in mind. Just note that the smart money is selling off. Okay. Next two that we're going to look into quickly, is PayPal and Disney. Where's my PayPal? PayPal and Diz. Alrighty. Going into today, what do we have going on here? We have some regular block trades in Darwin. We have actually some regular block trades that we're going to mark up. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. show you where we started off the day. Looks like we started off the day with the algo and price action trading together. The algo continued to make its smaller moves to the upside, pulling price action up with it. We got some block trades coming in. We had a block trade come in at right at the bell at 287, and that's where we closed at, right? So we had a block trade at 287. That's going to provide support until we break through it. Then it's going to provide resistance on the way back up. I'm not liking this price action. I'm not really liking how the algo is just, I mean, it's doing its job. It's making higher highs and higher lows, but there's not significant divergence for me to be super happy on it. I was hoping that this W pattern would have continued upwards and we would have got an explosive move from PayPal. However, we have some overhead resistance that we got to play with, that we got to deal with now, coming in at 290, then 290.97, right? So the algo is, this is a tough one. I think there's probably better plays out there. The algo's kind of making a little uptrend, right? It's a very, very tight channel that it's in right now. I'd be interested to see some more defined separation before I went long. If I see the algo coming down and taking out, you know, some of these previous lows, I would definitely look to bring PayPal down with it. Okay, moving over to Disney. Excuse me, I've been talking a lot, so I might get some lumps or some, you know, some throat stress going on. All right, going into the day with Disney, let's see if I remember this correctly. We had slight bearish divergence going in, and I wasn't, whoa, what happened? That's weird. Never had that happen before. That's interesting. Well, you saw it here first. I broke the algo, possibly. Did I break the algo? All right, maybe we'll have to try Disney someplace else. All right, what is going on here? Did I break the algo? That's so weird. That one quadrant got jactified. All right, so we'll just bring it down here. All right, so starting off the day, there was bearish divergence for Disney. Right there. So the algo had started separating down to the downside away from Disney. However, Disney gapped up, ran into some overhead resistance, and then pulled back to a block trade that formed right at the opening bell. That came in at 185.25, and that is going to be our support. That's wackadoodle. That's our support. Right below that, we had one yesterday at 184.67. So it's got dual layers of support. Going to keep an eye out for what this algorithm does, since it is curling up towards the end of the day. Right, the algo is generally, it wasn't an uptrend, right? It was in a nice uptrend. Looks like this may be profit taking. I'm interested to see if this can continue to pull up. If that's the case, you know, price action's essentially trading with the algorithm at this point. So if the algo can curl back up off of this support level and continue to move to the upside, then I would continue to go long with Disney, but see how this is a good example of divergence playing out, right? So this was an area of divergence here, right? Price action is heading in this direction. The algo is heading in this direction. That divergence is going to have to play out at some point, right? So you could have bought, you know, you could have sold a put there when the algo started to curl back around, right? Played this out to the divergence where it plays out, where the divergence plays out. So where the algo and the price action come back to meet each other. Since then, it's trading with price action all the way through, right? So the assumption would be that it would continue to trade with price action. It did find support. It did find support. Looks like a little double bottom, maybe potentially going long into next week. Okay. All right, that's it. I think that's all that I went over this morning. I think so. I think that was it. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up in the comments section below. If you have any requests for tomorrow morning stream, leave those in the comments section below. Help source that information. We'll try to get them pulled up and help you out with your day. Once again, I'm Dark Pole Algo. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.